Hello chess lovers, Surin here, and I have another fascinating game for you from 2018 Batumi Chess Olympiad. In round 4 the first team of Georgia faced Lithuanian team, and now let's have a look at a game from board 1 where Badur Jobava was playing against Sarunas Sulskis. In this game Jobava had white pieces and he started the game with b3, Larsen's opening, named after the Danish grandmaster Bent Larsen. Of course nowadays you won't see such a move very often at a high level, but this is a move which can be seen very often in Jobava's repertoire. To b3, black is either responding with e5 or d5, but in this game black came up with a very insane a5 idea. The intention is to meet bishop b2 with a4, and Jobava stopped the a-pawn's further advancement with a4. This is crazy, guys. e5. Finally, we see a move which I won't call dubious. Bishop b2, d6, e3, g6. Now black is also preparing to fianchetto his bishop. Bishop g7, d takes e5, and using this pin, black played knight d7 in order to recapture on e5 with the knight. Queen d2, knight f6, and Jobava castled queenside. Of course a very risky decision because white's queenside is somewhat weakened, and in return black castled kingside. We have opposite side castlings and this is going to be a sharp battle. h3, Jobava is preparing to start a pawn storm on the king side. Knight d7, g4, knight c5, bishop g2, bishop e6. Already there is a very devastating bishop takes b3 threat. That's why Jobava played king b1, but actually instead of playing king b1 it was better to move away the queen, because in some variations later black knight can jump on e4 square with a tempo, but in the game we see king b1, after which black sacrificed the pawn by playing b5. By offering a pawn, black wants to rip open white's queen side and target white king. g5 by Jobava. Well, if a move like knight takes b5, then black has this knight e4 move. That's why I was telling that queen e2 was better. If queen e1, then after the exchange on b2, the queen can join the attack with a tempo, and then c6, and of course black is getting a pretty nice counterplay. If knight d4, then queen takes f2. Black's position actually stands much better. Let's go back, but in the game after b5 we see g5, knight d7. Instead of knight d7, the engine suggests a crazy b takes a4 move. He's offering to sacrifice the knight, and if g takes f6, then bishop takes f6. The rook is also hanging. If bishop takes a8, then queen takes a8. If move like knight d5, then bishop takes b2 followed by a takes b3, and black has a devastating attack. But of course this line was a very risky one, that's why black chose a comparatively safer knight d7 move. Knight takes b5, finally Jobava is winning the offered pawn, and we see the exchange of dark squared bishops on b2. Rook b8, knight e2, queen takes g5, knight f4, knight b6. Black knights are now eyeballing on a4 square, queen d4, and here we go, knight takes a4 check. Look at this craziness, guys. B takes a4, knight takes a4 check. Well, actually this knight takes a4 allows white to equalize the game. c5 is actually stronger. If knight takes e6, then f takes e6. If queen e4, then queen f6 check, and then d5, and black has a very dangerous attack. But in the game after b takes a4, we see knight takes a4 check, queen takes a4. Now comes rook takes b5 check. The queen is supporting the rook. King c1, rook b4, queen c6, and another crazy move this time, rook takes f4. Black is also removing the knight, which was standing very actively and was consolidating white's position. E takes f4, queen takes f4 check, rook d2. Of course white king will never step on b file, because after rook b8 check this is simply over. That's why rook d2 was played. Rook b8, queen c3, bishop a2 with a direct mating threat. King d1, this time bishop c4. The bishop is cutting white king's escaping route, and the threat is checkmate in 1. Queen a1, queen g5, the bishop is under attack, f4, and another very beautiful move by Sarunas Sulskis, queen f6. This time black is sacrificing the queen, but the queen is untouchable because of this mating threat. A very beautiful move. c3, the pawn is blocking the long diagonal in order to support this cheeking queen. Queen f5, the threat is rook b1 check, king c1. Now comes bishop d3 with the same rook b1 check. Black is a rook down, but black is managing to create too many problems for white. Rook b2 and queen takes f4 check. King d1, bishop b5, rook d2. Of course, capturing on a5 can't be played because of this bishop a4 check. That's why in the game we see rook d2. Queen f5, well, playing c6 and then d5 is stronger, but in the game we see queen f5, rook e1 and bishop d3. Well, it was better to keep the d3 square free and play bishop c4. The threat is rook b1 check. Now rook b2 can't be played because of queen d3 check and white's position is collapsing. That's why after bishop c4 white should play bishop e4, after which black can give a check from h5 and then bishop b3 check. Again, this is a line which gives black better chances, but in the game we see bishop d3. Now comes rook b2, and now gradually white is managing to equalize the game and consolidate his position. Queen takes a5, queen g4 check, king c2, although still white king is exposed and white has to be very careful. d5, queen takes c7, rook e8, we have a very deadly pin, rook a7. White is now creating mating threat, that's why queen f6 is on the board, queen c5, bishop c4 and rook c7, a terrible mistake after which black is getting a winning position. Well, bishop d3 could allow white to keep the balance, after which actually the position is equal and all black can do is to give a perpetual check. But in the game after bishop c4 we see rook c7, after which here comes the queen, queen h4. The queen is taking under attack the rook on e1 square. Now if rook e3, then this time the queen's diagonal is blocked and black queen can join the attack, and this is going to be crushing, guys. The threat is rook d8 check. You can't even capture on c4. This rook d8 check will finish up white king. That's why after d takes e4 white should play rook c8, although after the exchange of rooks on c8 king g7 black has great attacking chances. I don't think that white can save this position. Let's go back, but in the game after queen h4 we see bishop takes d5. Now comes queen h2 check, king d1, and Joe Bava resigned because his king is simply getting checkmated. Though there were some inaccuracies in the game, but all in all the game was very fascinating. First we saw those crazy opening moves and then so many sacrifices, after which black was attacking with the rook down, but finally managed to finish up white in style. Thanks for watching. Here are more suggestions for you. For more games, consider subscribing to my channel. I will see you in the next video.